Hello and welcome to Yoga for Everybody. Today with me, your guide, Jodie. This morning's class is really dedicated to our low back. So we're going to really think about releasing the hamstrings to relax the low back and strengthening the abdominal muscles. So take a moment to lie down on your back and get as comfortable as possible. You can decide if you want to bend your knees or put a cushion under your knees. And you want to think about creating lots of space between your ears and your shoulder blades. Let your arms come down to the mat and turn your palms up to the sky. And notice if it feels better if you stretch your legs out. Good. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and exhale with a sigh. Again. Take a deep breath in. And a third and final time, take a deep breath in. And exhale to release. Now, each time you exhale, allow the back of your body to melt down more and more towards the mat. So really think about allowing all of your muscles to let go. The only thing that needs to be used right now is your diaphragm so that we keep breathing. Now it's really normal if you notice 100 million thoughts in your mind, but also notice that you have control over those thoughts. So without judging those thoughts, just notice what they are. You might be thinking about things that are happening in the future. You might be worrying about things that happened in the past. But right now, the only thing that's important is to be in the here and now and to concentrate on your breath. So again, every time you notice a thought coming back into your mind, release it with the exhalation and allow yourself to really have a moment of wellness in your day. So we're going to connect into our breath and just notice the speed with which we're breathing. And notice how interesting it is that once your mind starts slowing down, your breath follows. Deepen your breath. So instead of breathing with the upper part of the lungs, we want to make sure that breath fills the whole lungs. And when we do this, you'll actually feel the belly rise up with each inhalation. And then you want to think about releasing the most amount of oxygen with each exhalation. So we press the belly button in slightly when we exhale. So inhale fully and exhale completely. So you should feel a tiny pause at the top of the inhalation and at the bottom of the exhalation. And otherwise, make sure your breath is very fluid. Take a moment to check in with your body. And if you notice any points of tensions, release them even more and allow the shoulders to sink down even a bit more towards the earth. And the hips as well. Good. Now contract your throat just a little bit to start the Ujjayi breath. So if you imagine that I was beside you, I should be able to hear your breath. And believe me, I know, sometimes we feel a little bit shy to breathe like this. But it's so important because this breath doubles our effect of every posture that we do. So sometimes even we're not feeling physically able to do a certain posture, you can just come back to this Ujjayi breath and it will give you some benefits as well. Now, I'd like you to imagine as you inhale, there's actual energy that's coming into your body. And you can imagine this feeling of energy coming from the tailbone, moving up towards the third eye. And each time we exhale, that energy is going to come back down from the third eye to the tailbone. So we actually add in a physical feeling with this. So now as we inhale, we're going to imagine bringing in energy. So you can imagine being at an exhibition or a big park. And you can imagine going up the roller coaster and you feel that energy coming up. Perfect. As we exhale, it's the opposite. We exhale, we want to bring the energy down. And sometimes, for me, this is a harder sensation when I'm feeling a bit hyper. So I remind myself what it feels like when I'm dancing and my feet are hitting the ground and you feel that grounding effect. So remember, our body's able to bring in these physical feelings just from our memory. So allow yourself with each inhalation to feel more and more energetic. And when we exhale at the same time, remind yourself to feel more and more relaxed. That's perfect. So now place your hands on your belly. Because in today's class, we're really going to learn how to strengthen our abdominal muscles to protect the spine. Because you're going to really feel how the abdominal muscles attach in the back and how these abdominal muscles protect the low back. So I'd like to really notice that when we inhale, the hands lift up towards the sky because of the belly movement. And then when we exhale, we press the belly button in. Good. So to make it a little bit more precise, place your thumbs on your rib cage and it lets your baby fingers come to your hip bones. So as we exhale, we press the belly button in and you're going to feel the ribs and the hip bone move more closely together. Again, we inhale, the belly opens, the rib cage opens as well. So again, we exhale, we squeeze in tight with the abdominals and feel the rib cage move down again. So I know it's hard sometimes when we're starting this, but we'll get more and more used to it with the practice. Good. So again, we're inhale, the belly gets nice and big. As we exhale, we press the belly button in, the lower rib cage comes down, and at the same time, we're going to squeeze the Kegel muscles. So if you're not very familiar with the Kegel muscles, you have to imagine that if you're going to the washroom, you actually stop. So you feel the muscles on the interior squeeze in and contract. So in yoga, we call this a bandha. So again, we inhale, the belly gets big. Exhale, with the low rib cage comes down, the belly button comes in, and we squeeze the Kegel muscles. Good. One more time. Inhale, let the belly float up towards the sky. Exhale, press the belly button in. So, in today's class, we're going to place special attention to use our abdominal muscles in most of the postures. Good. Let your arms come down to the floor. Make sure your shoulders are comfortable. And bring the knees in one at a time towards the belly. Place your hands on the knees. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the knees in towards the belly. Inhale, let the knees go away from the belly. Exhale, squeeze the knees in. Inhale, let the knees go away from the belly. So it's up to you to decide what angle is comfortable for your back. but you might notice that it changes with the repetitions. Good. You'll start noticing the low back relaxing very quickly. Good. Keep the knees up and spread the arms down on the mat. The palms are always turned up towards the sky. And this time we're going to go into a twist, a moving twist. So as we exhale, let the knees come down to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, let them sway towards the left. Inhale, back to center. So notice the reaction in your low back. And we always want to bring the knees down to an angle where we feel a sensation in the back, but comfortable without pain. And with the repetitions, if your back relaxes, let the knees go down a little bit more, side to side. And notice this is a great posture to do in the morning, because as we wake up, all our bodily fluids are slower, our muscles are not as flexible. So this is a nice way to wake everything up. Good. The next time the knees go to the right side, let them come down to the floor in a twist. So again, you're going to concentrate in on the feeling in your hip and in your back. If you have a little sensation right now, you're probably in the perfect sensation. If you're finding that it's too tight, stretch the knees away from your belly. If it's the opposite and you need more tight of a twist, bring the knees in towards your ribs. There's no angle that's better than the other, except for the one that feels delicious in your body. That's what you want to look for. Good. Turn your head to the left and take a few deep breaths. Good. Inhale deep enough that you feel your left rib cage lift up towards the sky as you inhale. And when you exhale, you'll feel that sensation of melting down to the mat. Again, inhale deeply, so the rib cage lifts up towards the sky. I know it feels exaggerated, but it's going to help release the muscles. And then exhale, let the body melt. Good. Now press your belly button in towards the spine. Inhale, bring the knees back to center. Exhale, let the knees go down towards the left side. Same thing. Let the back adjust for your needs today. And remember, the tensions on the right and left side of our bodies are often different. So you want to have the same feeling by adjusting your knees up or down, and then relax your hips, relax your back, and place all of your effort into your breath. So again, you want to inhale so deeply you feel your rib cage lift up towards the sky. Exhale, let it melt down. Allow the breath to really move even through the shoulder. Keep your throat contracted to keep using the Ujjayi breath. Good. Press your belly button in towards your spine. Inhale, bring the knees back to center. Let your feet just dangle down by the hips and draw the infinity sign in the sky with the knees. So allow the size of the movement to be decided by your own mobility. So start with small movements and allow the movement to get bigger as your back gets more and more comfortable with the repetitions. Good. Change directions. That's very good. Bring the knees back to center and place your feet down on the mat. So now notice that you can slide your hands in the little arc in your low back. So now we're going to really work to change this angle. So just to notice how it feels, you're going to place your hands under and then take them out so that you notice how it works. So what happens is we're going to start doing pelvic tilts. So we exhale and we roll the tailbone down and lift the pubic bone up. Inhale, the belly is going to lift up towards the sky and press the tailbone down towards the earth, and you're going to feel the arc get bigger. Exhale, press the back down towards the mat, lift the tailbone, the coccyx, the pubic bone up. And again, we just rock the back, the pelvic area up and down with the breath. So as you tilt the pelvis, you're going to notice sometimes that there will be ligaments or tendons or muscles that might be tight. If it's painful, don't tilt the pelvis too much in that direction. Allow it to work out with the repetitions, and you'll notice the pelvis will be able to tilt and release a little bit more each time. Good. Relax that movement. And it's up to you now if you want to slide your leg down on the floor or keep your knees bent. Now inhale, lift your left leg up. If you have a hard time holding onto the ankle or calf, take the strap and place it around the ball of the foot. So the most important thing here now is to keep the leg straight and lower your leg down to wherever you need to keep your knees straight and still feel just a tiny stretch in the hamstring, just a little stretch, because we want to keep the muscles so that they're still elasticy. And you'll notice if you bring the leg too far forward, the hamstring muscles will contract. So you have to find that limit. Good. So to really work with the alignment of the posture, inhale, stretch the heel up towards the sky. Exhale, pull the leg in maybe another millimeter. So each time we inhale, we're going to make sure that we have the good alignment. And as we exhale, we work more with the flexibility. Good. Pay attention to the feelings you have in the back of the leg. And you'll feel too that your leg tension will release with the repetition of the breath. That's why we keep moving the leg more and more forward through the posture. Remember, it's your limit, no one else's. Perfect. Exhale and bring the hands down to the earth. So now for the next posture, it's very important to use the type of breathing I was showing you before to engage the abdominals. So point your big toe up towards the sky, and with your next exhalation, we're going to press the belly button in as we lower the leg down towards the earth. Inhale, lift the leg up. Again, exhale, squeeze the belly button in, lower the rib cage, squeeze the kegels. Inhale, release the belly and let the leg come up towards the sky. So continue using your breath as your guide for the movement. Also, keep in mind that if you're finding this difficult, it's not necessary to make a big leg lift. You could do half of the movement or even just a few centimeters of a leg lift, the most important thing you can be doing right now is the isometric exercise in the belly. Good. Bring the leg up towards the sky. If you want, use a strap or hold on to the ankle or the calf with your hands. Straighten the knee. Bring the leg in towards the body until you feel a slight stretch. And just notice, for curiosity's sake, if the angle is the same this time as it was the last time. Now, I'd like you to just keep in mind that we have 3 muscles that comprise the hamstring. So we want to find which muscle has the most tension. So to do this, we're going to make a little rocking movement. Exhaling the leg maybe 5 centimeters to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, slowly go maybe another 5 centimeters towards the left. So rock back and forth, concentrating on the sensation you have in your hamstrings. And when you find the angle that has the most tension, keep your leg stable in that angle. So, for example, I can feel that the right side of my hamstring is more contracted than the rest. So I'm going to keep the leg in this angle, and when I exhale, I'm going to pull in on this same angle. So I'm going towards the right a little bit. So you need to notice where you need to release the tension and keep just pulling the leg 1 millimeter at a time towards your body on the exhalations to release that tension. Good. You can place your strap to the side. Lift your leg towards the sky, point the big toe up, and to work on our abdominal muscles, we're going to keep using that contraction of the abdominal muscles during our exhalations. And in this exercise, think about keeping your hips stable on the ground, and we're going to start doing some circles with the leg. So we exhale down and around, inhale up and around, keeping everything stable on the ground. So it's not the size of the circle that's as important as the movement in your belly to contract the abdominal muscles, bring the rib cage down, squeeze the kegels. That is what really helps to develop the abdominal muscles. Now change directions. So remember, you're exhaling down and around, inhaling up and around, and think about keeping your hips stable on the ground. Excellent. Come back to center. Take the strap again on the ball of the foot, and this time place your strap in your right hand. Press your hips down to the earth and exhale to open the left leg to the left. As soon as you have a stretch on the inside of the thigh, you're in the perfect angle. Just keep your leg open and press your right hip down towards the floor, because if we let the right hip lift up, we're going to lose the stretch on the inside of the thigh. Take a few deep breaths here, and you'll notice that the gravity is going to let your leg open a little bit more without forcing it at all, and just let it drop down naturally. Keep your throat contracted for the Ujjayi breath to get the maximum benefits from your posture. Excellent. Inhale, bring the leg back up towards the sky. Put your strap to the side. Bend your left knee and interlace your fingers over the knee. Stretch the right leg down to the ground. So from here, we want to think about our psoas muscle. So it rests in the front of the spine and it opens up on the top of the leg. And oftentimes this is what's contracted when we have a sore low back. So take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, squeeze the knee in towards the rib cage. Keep your arms strong so the knee can't move. Now flex your right foot and press the right thigh down towards the floor. One more step. Don't let your arms move, and press your knees up towards your hands with about half of your strength. So you want to think of that the right heel and the left knee are stretching opposite to each other. So you're usually going to notice a bit of a stretch in the front of the right hip if your psoas muscle is contracted. Good. Take a few more deep breaths in and out. Excellent. Release all that muscular work. Keep the right hand on the left knee. Stretch the left arm out to the side. And we're going into a moving twist. So exhale to swing the left knee towards the right, just to wherever it feels good in your back. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale to twist. Inhale to come back to center. You'll feel the tension leaving with the repetitions without having to force it at all. Allow the low back to stretch out. Now as you exhale, let your left knee come down towards the right, and then play a little bit with the angle of your knee so that it feels good in your low back. Turn your head a little bit towards the left and relax your low back and your hips, your shoulders. If you like, you can even close your eyes and notice what's happening on the inside of your body. Feel the reactions in your body as you inhale and the rib cage lifts up towards the sky. And again, notice what happens when you let your body sink down towards the floor. Notice what's happening in your low back, especially around the sacrum. And notice how there's some energy and circulation coming back into that area. Good. Exhale. Let the legs come down to the floor as you unwind. Adjust your shoulders and your hips. And take a moment to notice how you're feeling right now and what differences there are between the right side and your left side, so that you know exactly what each and every posture does to your own body, so that you can come back to this as a reference when you need it later. Good. So we're going to work on the other side. So you can bend your knees, or you can keep your legs extended down on the ground, and then inhale to lift up your right leg and place the strap around the ball of the foot, or hold on to your ankle and your calf. Remember, there's no ideal angle except for the one that feels perfect in your body. So straighten your leg and then place your leg wherever you need to find just a small stretch. Good. Press the heel up towards the sky. Same rules as earlier. Inhale that the alignment is fine. And as we exhale, we work with our flexibility. So we're going to pull the leg just slightly in towards the body until you feel the limit. Notice the differences from one side to the other. I know myself, I hurt my right leg at one moment, and my right leg is not as flexible as my left, but with the practice, it's starting to come back slowly. Good. Inhale, press your heel up towards the sky, make sure your knee is straight, and exhale to pull the leg just a tiny bit more in towards center. Exhale, put your strap to the side, keep your leg up in the sky. Remember, if you have tension in your low back, keep your left knee bent. Point your big toe up, relax your shoulders, press your belly button in, and as you exhale, lower the leg down towards the floor. Inhale, flex your foot and bring it up towards the sky. And keep continuing the leg lift, using your own breath to guide the movement. So we're working slowly and precisely. Remember, the size of the leg lift is what is good for you in this very present moment. You'll notice there's days that you can do more than others, and it's learning how to respect your limits. And remember, right now, the abdominal contraction is more important than the actual leg lift. Good. Make sure that when you're squeezing the abdominals, that the low rib cage comes down, and we squeeze the Kegel muscles too. Good. Exhale. And then inhale. You can bring your strap to the ball of the foot or hold on to the ankle or calf again. Again, keep your knees straight. Press the heel up towards the sky. And as you exhale, we're going to bring the leg in towards the body to notice the stretch and the back of the leg. So from here, we're going to start rocking the leg a little bit side to side again. So again, we're going to exhale about 5 centimeters and swing it to the right. Inhale to center. Let it rock about 5 centimeters to the left. And keep just rocking back and forth to notice how the back of the leg feels. And when you find the angle that has the most tension in the back of the leg, hold your leg steady and work with that angle. So inhale, straighten the knee, press the heel upwards. Exhale, pull in just ever so slightly on that same angle. And you're going to notice the feeling of the tension being released from your body as long as you stay within your limit and not move in too far with the stretch to feel pain. Love your body. Excellent. As you exhale, place your strap down, point the big toe up towards the sky, and don't forget to keep your hips stable against the mat as we circle. So we're exhaling to draw the circle down and around with the big toe, inhaling up and around with the big toe. And remember, it's the movement of the belly, of the abdominal muscles, that's more important than the size of the circle. Good. You're going to notice your abdominal muscles starting to work here. So change directions for the circle. Good. Bring the leg back to center. One more time. Bring the strap to the ball of the foot. Put the strap in the right hand. Press your hip bones down, especially the left hip bone down to the earth. And exhale to open the right leg to the right. So just lower it enough to feel a slight stretch on the inside of the right thigh. Remember, we're not working with pain here, so lift the leg up slightly if you are having any intense feelings. You'll notice quickly if you've gone too far in the stretch because you won't be able to breathe in as deeply as before. So if you're having any type of feelings of pain or shortening of the breath, just imagine taking 10% of effort away from the posture. Good. Inhale, bring the leg back to center. Put your strap to the side. Bend your right knee and place your hands interlaced down over the knee. Stretch the left leg down on the floor. Inhale. As we exhale, we're going to bring the knee in towards the rib cage. Keep the arms strong. Flex the left foot and then press the left thigh down towards the floor. The last step here is to keep the arms strong and press the knee up into the hands. So you won't feel your knee move upwards. You're just mostly going to feel a contraction in the muscles. So again, we're going to imagine this time that the left heel and the right knee are stretching one away from the other so that we release the tension in the psoas muscle. Excellent. So let go of all that muscular work. Keep the left hand on the right knee and stretch the right arm down on the floor. Inhale and exhale, stretch the right knee towards the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the side. So just think about waking up your low back nice and slowly with these stretches. That's excellent. The next time that the knee moves towards the left, let it come down and hold it for a stable twist. And place the knee according to the tensions in your body. Take a deep breath in. Exhale fully and completely. And notice the work that's happening with your diaphragm. And with each and every exhalation, let the body sink down towards the earth and feel all of that good health filling each and every cell of your body. Good. Exhale, twist back onto your back. Bend both knees. Place your hands either behind your knees or you can hold onto the blades of the feet for happy baby's posture. Whatever is more comfortable for you. And you can either just stay here and let the weight of your arms open up your knees to the sides. Or if you choose to, you can pull down a little bit on the blades of the feet or on the knees to have a little bit of pressure for the opening. Good. Cross the ankles and then recross your hands so you can hold on to the blade of the feet. And you can rock a little bit side to side. And then start rocking forward and back on your spine, which will give you a nice little massage for your spine. And you're going to notice that you're going to start rocking, and with momentum, you'll rock more and more up to come to a seated position. Good. So cross your legs and notice your legs. Just which ankle is crossed under the under. And then walk your hands forward in front of your feet. And notice how this feels. If you're already stretching, stay where you are. If you find it painful, come back a little bit. If you're more flexible, walk your hands a little bit more forward. And relax your neck. And feel the weight of the head and how it affects the rest of your spine. And just come forward until you find your natural stop. Notice what you're feeling at the moment. Relax your elbows. Relax your neck. And notice if you have any particular sensations on one side or the other. Excellent. Now walk your hands all the way towards the right side. And notice how the left side of the body is starting to open. So it's always important to notice the sensations you're having, because yoga is the study of yourself, through yourself. Good. Keep breathing deeply, and then walk your hands the whole way towards the left side. Let your head rest down towards your knee, and let the right side open. Notice your belly swelling with the breath, and exhale, let your body melt down a little bit more. Good. Walk your hands to center and come back to a seated posture. Now, cross your legs in the opposite way, and we're going to do the same thing. Walk your hands forward until you find your natural stop, and relax your neck and relax your low back. Remember, it's your feelings that determine the angle of the posture. And then once you find that perfect angle, let your breath do the work for you. Good. Now walk your hands the whole way towards the right. And notice the difference when your legs are crossed this way. Now start walking your hands to center and walk them the whole way towards the left side. Let your head sink down. Relax your low back and take in a few more deep breaths. Good. Bring your hands back to center and come back to center. Good. Come from here. We're going to spread our legs out into a V posture. So one thing that's very difficult when we have a sore low back is that our pelvis isn't moving properly. So I'd like you to just to start rocking your pelvis frontwards and backwards, and notice what happens to the inside of your thigh. If you notice this is already a lot of work for you, just start trying to keep the tailbone up in the back and stay here stable. If you're finding this is already too tight for you, don't worry and close your legs a little bit so that the angle works better. Now, if you're feeling fine, bring your hands forward and rock the pelvis a little bit forward so the tailbone's coming up in the back. Relax your knees. Keep your thighs relaxed as well. And just like we did before, we're going to walk our hands forward until we find our natural stop. Remember, yoga's purpose is to release tension. Nowhere does it say that our purpose is to touch our nose to the ground. So your objective right now is to listen to your body to release the tension. Remember, as you inhale, you want to think about lifting that tailbone up. Now we're going to walk the hands back and bend our knees, put our feet together to come into butterfly pose. And rock the knees up and down, pump them up and down so that our hips become more comfortable. Good. Now we're going to come up onto all fours. Now, place your index fingers parallel and stretch your fingers out from there. Make sure your wrists are under your elbows and your shoulders, and roll the arm bones inwards. We're going to start with a cat and puppy. So exhale to roll the back up. Inhale to roll the belly down towards the floor. And we're going to change with each inhalation and exhalation. And notice the pelvic tilt. Keep working to release all the tensions from the low back. Good. If you feel comfortable, exhale and contract the abdominals to bring the knee in. So we're going to do one leg at a time. Exhale, bring the knee in. Inhale, bring the knee back. So you should feel the abdominals really working as you exhale and bring the knee in. Good. Bring the knees down. And then take a step forward with the right foot. You should have a 90-degree angle with your knee as the ankle aligns with the knee. And then inhale to come up to kneeling. So again, we want to think about releasing the pelvis here, the psoas muscle, and the pelvic tilt. So I want you to think about tucking your tailbone down towards the earth. The big mistake is that we press the hip forward instead of just doing the pelvic tilt. So when we do the pelvic tilt, you'll probably feel a nice stretch in the front of the left hip. If you're finding this very easy, press your tailbone forward at the same time. I'm going to take a few deep breaths here. Good. Bring your hands down to the mat and walk the right foot to the outside of the yoga mat and stretch the left knee back to stretch down into the hips. You might feel a psoas again here. If you're finding it too intense, let your hands rest on a block so it releases some of the tension. Good. Come back to center. Take a step back with the right knee and take a step forward with the left foot. Come up to kneeling. Tilt the pelvis so the tailbone's coming down to the earth. Rock the shoulders back and down. And this time we're looking for a stretch on the front of the right hip if your psoas is contracted. If you're finding it easy, think about pressing the tailbone forward. And then take a few more deep breaths in and out. Very good. Relax your hips. Bring your hands forward. And bring the left foot to the outside of the mat. Stretch your right knee backwards and sink down into your hips. Take a few more deep breaths. Good. Now, release the posture Swing your legs forward. Bend your knees and place your feet down to the mat. So you have a few options here. And the first thing we're going to do is to roll the skin and the muscles to the side. Open the feet and the knees about hip distance apart and lift the heart up. So for some people, you'll just be lifting the heels up. And this is great, especially when our abdominal muscles are quite weak. And then you're going to simply bring the arms forward. If you find this easy, stay balanced on your tailbone and lift your feet up to a 90-degree angle with the knees. So what you just want to think about is to avoid curving the back. If you're finding it too hard, put the toes back down to the floor. Good. Exhale. Place the feet back down. Interlace your fingers. Interlace the fingers and point the index fingers forward. Exhale. Lower the back down one vertebrae at a time. And now, the best part of the class, Savasana. Put your body in the most comfortable position you can find. If you want, use the cushion. If your hands are down by your sides, roll the palms up towards the sky. Shift your shoulder blades down away from the ears, and close your eyes. There's absolutely nothing else you need to be doing right now. Don't even think about your breath. This is simply a moment in time so that your body can adjust to everything you've been teaching it. And now, just concentrate on your low back, around your pelvis, and your abdominal muscles. And notice how different you feel now compared to the beginning of the class. And remember, it's always important to examine and notice the connections on releasing the pains in your body and how that affects your emotions, your mental ideas, and even how your spiritual life aligns. And it's amazing to discover how through yoga we're able to connect the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies through the breath. And allow the healing to be absorbed in each and every one of your cells. And you'll notice that as you develop a regular practice, how your body and your mind is able to be regulated more and more quickly. And how we are able to recognize that eternal wisdom that the body will tell us. So slowly start moving your fingers and your toes to bring your consciousness back into your body. Slide your arms up and over your head to stretch out all the way from your fingertips to your toes, down the right side and then the left. If there's any particular movement you feel like you need to do, feel free. And then when you're ready, roll over on your right side in fetal position. Keep that hold of that nice relaxation, and then press the left hand to the floor to help come into a seated position. Sit down however you feel the best. Straighten your back, relax your shoulders, and stretch up through the crown of the head. Bring your hands to your heart in prayer, and we'll chant Om to end the class. Take a deep breath in. Thank you. Namaste.